Who stirs your mind before you even notice it? Who guides your longing, awakens fear, fans desire, and pulls at the impulses you believe are your own? You move, you crave, you react, and yet, throughout life, these stirrings are guided by subtle, persistent external currents such as culture, social expectation, family influence, peer pressure, education, media, and societal norms, shaping your attention, thoughts, and desires long before conscious awareness intervenes. The Buddha taught that mental formations, saṅkhāra, arise dependent on causes. They are not yours to command, shaped by internal habits and countless conditions, yet until you observe them, they influence every choice, thought, and subtle turn of attention. Mastery is not force. It is not control over the world, nor the suppression of the mind. It begins in quiet, unwavering seeing. When desire surges, when fear trembles, when reaction rises, you witness it fully, observing its origin. Was this impulse truly yours, or triggered by the words, emotions, and actions of others? In that seeing, the sway of unseen currents begins to loosen. In that pause, the mind steps back from the patterns, both internal and external, that have carried it. Recognition itself awakens freedom. Pause deeply and ask, who truly owns you? Is your mind alert to every stir of thought, every flicker of longing, every surge of fear? Or do the currents of culture, expectation, habit, and social influence still steer your attention and choice? Freedom emerges in observation. Each thought observed, each impulse noticed, each reaction witnessed. These are the threads by which you reclaim authorship of your mind, your heart, your life. You are not the passive vessel of habit, desire, or expectation. You are the witness, the arbiter, the conscious presence that can meet each stir, each emotion, each choice with clarity. Only when these currents are seen can the mind truly begin to answer to no one but yourself. When the mind is mapped, many move through life believing they choose freely, yet much of what they perceive as choice is quietly shaped by invisible forces. Culture, social expectation, family pressure, education, authority, media, and corporations operate long before awareness awakens. Together, they form a lattice that guides attention, shapes thought, and orchestrates preference with subtle persistence. Life unfolds within this design, often without the individual noticing how thoroughly patterns of decision and desire have already been traced. In the Buddha's teaching, the mind is not a singular, sovereign entity. It is a process, a living, unfolding continuum shaped by memory, habit, and circumstance. Thoughts arise only when conditions converge, persist while those conditions endure, and dissolve when their support fades. Until this is recognized, the mind moves quietly along channels etched by causes beyond conscious awareness. Choices reflect patterns set in motion by influences both seen and unseen, traced long before consciousness intervenes. In its unobserved flow, the mind carries the traces of countless shaping forces, and the illusion of freedom persists precisely because this influence is subtle, continuous, and almost imperceptible. You can see this mind mapping at every turn of life, from whom you marry, to the career you pursue, to the objects you buy, to the beliefs you adopt. Many people marry before a certain age, not necessarily because the heart inclines, but because expectation, tradition, and social rhythm have set the stage. Careers are pursued not from genuine interest, but because society elevates certain paths and the quiet nod of approval from peers and family guides choice. Objects are purchased to signal success, status, superiority, or alignment with collective norms. Beliefs are adopted because they echo authority and culture. Trends are followed, not for personal meaning, but because repetition has normalized them. In each case, what appears to be a free act is frequently choreographed by subtle, persistent influences. Each decision, seemingly personal, traces its origin to these currents: the desire to belong, the craving for recognition, and the avoidance of disapproval. The sense of having chosen freely is often only a retrospective claim, a posthumous attribution of authorship over decisions already shaped by forces beyond immediate awareness. Life is less a sequence of autonomous acts than a choreography of conditioned responses flowing along grooves etched by culture and tradition. This shaping is quiet and nearly imperceptible. The mind's orientation, the direction of attention, and the valuation of things are rehearsed and reinforced until they feel instinctive. Certain words acquire gravity. Certain images draw attention. Certain ideas provoke approval or fear. These grooves, carved by repetition, expectation, and the subtle orchestration of external forces, guide thought without notice. Corporations, media industries, social platforms, and political campaigns trace these pathways over decades, cultivating envy, desire, and attention in predictable ways. None of these interventions chain the mind overtly, yet their persistent influence steers responses with remarkable effectiveness. The mind inclines toward approval, jealousy, desire, or avoidance, not because these responses are spontaneous, but because they have been cultivated over time. The pull is familiar, repeated, and deeply conditioned. Each movement feels autonomous, but in reality, it is a note in a symphony orchestrated outside your conscious authorship. This symphony shapes not just your thoughts, but the impulses that arise before thought can even intervene. Until your consciousness is fully awakened, the choices you believe are your own. Your decisions, your judgments, your desires are often triggered by forces you cannot see, just like being pulled by strings from invisible hands. When emotions are stirred, an emotion is never mere feeling. It is a signal, a movement of body and awareness that marks what matters, what threatens, and what calls the heart forward. It quickens the pulse, tightens the chest, lifts the heart, and bends attention toward its source. Pride swells when recognition whispers of worth. Fear coils when uncertainty casts its shadow. Desire tugs when longing meets promise. Anger flares when expectation meets violation. Sorrow deepens when loss presses its weight. Each stir of the heart is a pull upon invisible strings, a choreography rehearsed long before conscious awareness arrives. These strings are tugged not only by media, headlines, or trends, but also by family expectations, peer comparisons, and societal norms. You move, you react, yet the ownership of your response is never assured. If the origin of these stirrings remains unseen, impulse governs, and each reaction becomes a performance you mistakenly call your own. Unchecked, emotions rise as if guided by another hand. A newspaper headline, a flash of television news, a viral post on social media, or a trending thread. Attention lifts, indignation flares, longing awakens, all before your consciousness even notices. Praise or criticism from family, approval or judgment from friends, and the subtle reinforcement of societal ideals tug at the heart. Like an instrument played by unseen hands, your heart leaps at the cue, fumbles at the direction, sits quietly when commanded, yet does not recognize it belongs to another. In this theater, you are not the master of your emotions, but a participant in rhythms shaped to awaken pride, envy, fear, and desire. These stirrings, when unexamined, become instruments in a symphony composed by forces beyond your awareness, each note tuned to the pulse of attention, emotion, and social influence. Pause when these currents arise. Watch. Ask quietly, who pulled this string? What is its purpose? Who benefits from this surge of indignation, this thrill of outrage, this yearning for approval? Emotions are currents that shape thought, weaving habitual patterns that feel inevitable, yet are entirely conditioned. If they can arise, they can also subside. Observation alone loosens their sway. Awareness does not suppress, it illuminates. Recognition is the first step toward reclaiming mastery. When the choreography is seen, you are no longer compelled to dance blindly. The space between stir and response becomes yours. In that pause lies freedom. Both traditional media and social media provide constant illustration. Carefully curated stories, provocative images, sensationalized headlines, trending topics, and algorithmically suggested content are designed to awaken rhythms of fear, envy, desire, and pride. You may find yourself hating a group you barely knew existed, or longing for validation from people you have never met. Your pulse rises, hope surges, indignation sparks. Strings of influence tug at you invisibly. Social cues, family expectations, and peer reinforcement amplify these patterns, weaving a lattice of influence that guides emotional reaction. The pull feels personal, urgent, justified, but it is designed, anticipated, and rehearsed. Each like, comment, share, or headline taps into patterns of craving and aversion, shaping your reactions invisibly. Only by seeing the design, by observing the stir without surrender, does the first liberation emerge. These currents follow rhythms practiced and honed repeatedly. Each spike of pride, surge of anger, or tug of longing responds to triggers studied, tested, and refined. The heart leaps automatically, yet the choreography is external. Family, peers, society, and media all play their part. When this design is observed, the illusion of spontaneity dissolves, and the stirrings no longer dictate behavior. Practical observation brings clarity. Notice the moment attention is drawn to a news story, a post, a trending topic, or the judgment of a friend or family member. Feel the pulse, the surge, the tug, before thought intervenes. Witness the choreography unfold and recognize that acting is optional. These reactions are not failures. They are evidence of a trained heart responding as it has learned. Awareness softens the sway. Seeing offers freedom. Emotions, alive, impermanent, independent, arise, move, and fade. When paused upon, stirrings that once demanded obedience pass like clouds across a clear sky. Each recognition strengthens sovereignty. Each pause opens the space where choice can arise. The currents still flow, yet the heart is no longer swept away. Freedom does not lie in silencing emotion or denying feeling. It emerges in seeing, in knowing that you are the witness, the arbiter, the one who decides. Here, in the quiet space between trigger and reaction, mastery awakens. Recognition is liberation. Awareness is freedom. Each stir of the heart, each pulse of emotion is observed, owned, and returned to you. The currents still move, but you move with them, not because they compel you, but because you see, understand, and claim the space of choice. Here, for the first time, your emotions answer to no one but you. When reactions are triggered, once emotion is stirred, reaction often follows before reflection arrives. Your hand clicks, your voice replies, your vote is cast, your comment is typed, all guided by currents you may scarcely perceive. The same words, the same slogans, the same framing, and the same outcomes repeat, forming habits that feel natural, inevitable, and entirely personal. Yet these habits are often rehearsed responses, shaped by expectation, circumstance, subtle influence, and social pressures long before you recognize them. Family expectations, peer comparisons, and societal norms operate alongside media and authority, guiding both what feels urgent and what feels natural. What appears as self-expression is frequently a performance choreographed by forces beyond immediate awareness. Reactions are the visible echoes of unseen stirrings. Pride, fear, desire, or indignation once aroused seek outlets. You read a campaign speech, a headline, a promise of change, or a warning of danger. Your pulse quickens, fear flares, hope rises. Your hand moves toward the ballot. The click follows the urge. The choice feels entirely conscious, but the pathway from feeling to action has been anticipated, rehearsed, and structured, not only by media messaging, but also by the internalized expectations of family, peers, and society. The reaction seems spontaneous, yet it has already been set in motion. Political campaigns offer a clear illustration. A promise of reform awakens hope. A critique of opponents stirs fear or anger. Speeches are designed to touch long-practiced emotional chords: pride and identity, worry for safety, longing for recognition or justice. Media coverage amplifies these stirrings, repeating the same words, the same stories, the same cues until your response becomes automatic. Social reinforcement, approval from peers, alignment with family norms, validation from cultural narratives adds an invisible pressure that further guides your behavior. You, unaware of the orchestration, move in accordance with the rhythm laid out for you. Voting, petitioning, rallying. These are not simply expressions of preference. They are responses shaped by a careful understanding of how hearts and minds respond to cues. Notice the chain: stimulus, emotion, reaction. Each step is conditioned. Each pattern has been anticipated. Each habitual movement reinforces itself, creating the illusion that action is free, when in truth, it often mirrors the guidance embedded in messaging, culture, social expectation, or circumstance. The reaction becomes a habit. The habit becomes identity. And identity feels like the unquestionable self. You say, "I chose this," yet your choice is a river already flowing along its mapped course. Pause. Observe. When the urge to act arises, whether to vote, to speak, or to respond to any trigger, ask, what emotion precedes this impulse? Who or what has shaped this desire to act? Who benefits from the alignment between stir and action? Each reaction is an opportunity for awareness. To see the steps between cause and behavior is to step outside the choreography and reclaim autonomy. Even habitual responses can be observed, understood, and altered when attention is applied. Reactions are impermanent, conditioned, and visible. They follow patterns, but they are not fixed. You may feel fear yet choose deliberation. You may feel indignation yet respond with thoughtfulness. You may feel desire yet refrain from impulse. Each pause, each observation, loosens the automatic link between stir and movement. Recognition awakens choice. Awareness returns ownership. Behavior, like mind and emotion, is alive but not autonomous. It arises in dependence on preceding currents, internal and external, but it can be met with clarity. When the chain from trigger to response is illuminated, habitual reactions lose their power to define you. The space between feeling and action becomes a realm where freedom manifests, where the river of conduct may be redirected or observed without compulsion. Here, for the first time, you see your reactions as they truly are, conditioned, anticipated, and shaped by external rhythm, family, peers, and society, yet not inexorably bound. You are not the automatic voter, the habitual commenter, the reactive worker. You are the one who witnesses, who pauses, who chooses whether to follow the familiar current or step aside. In that space lies sovereignty, in that pause lies mastery, and in that awareness lies the liberation of action. Conscious living as freedom. Freedom is not a prize won by struggle or denial. It arises from awareness, from inhabiting each moment fully, from witnessing life rather than being swept along by habit or external expectation. Consciousness allows you to notice not only your own impulses, but also the subtle currents of family, society, and peer pressure that shape them. To live consciously is to notice the stirrings of thought, the tug of desire, the flare of anger, and the pull of longing, and to respond with clarity rather than reflex. It is not a renunciation of life, but a deep embrace of it. Every breath, every bite of food, every word spoken, every step taken, attended to with deliberate presence. When life is cluttered with possessions, ambitions, and distractions that do not serve what truly matters, attention fragments and freedom erodes. The demands imposed by culture, family expectations, and social norms intensify this clutter, guiding priorities and desires before awareness can intervene. The pursuit of objects we do not need, or status that does not nourish, binds us with invisible chains. Conscious living lightens these chains. It teaches that the less we own, the fewer demands we must meet to satisfy the expectations of others, the more space we create for peace. We do not seek approval from strangers, nor chase the fleeting currents of comparison. We are fully present to what touches us, what sustains us, what is truly alive in each moment. Notice how attention shifts when you eat a meal. Without consciousness, the body chews, while the mind scrolls a screen or rehearses the day's worries. With awareness, every taste, texture, and warmth is experienced. The act of eating becomes complete, whole, and enlivening. Notice how you speak with a child or listen to a friend. When fully present, the connection deepens, the distractions fade, and the gestures of life are felt rather than performed. This is conscious living, not absence of activity, but fullness of attention. Freedom grows when awareness becomes habitual. The heart no longer leaps at every provocation. The mind no longer chases every distraction. You act, you work, you love, you move, but with deliberate attention, with choice, with presence. Triggers lose their power, impulses lose their sway, and the currents of life flow through you rather than carrying you along. By seeing both your internal stirrings and the shaping influence of social, familial, and cultural forces, you reclaim authorship of thought and action, You are neither captive to craving, nor to fear, nor to the expectations imposed by others. Every action, every thought, every word is touched by consciousness, and in that touch, liberation quietly unfolds. Conscious living does not require monastic life, nor withdrawal from the world. It does require that each step, each breath, each interaction is noticed, that we pay attention to what we do, to what we consume, to what we give our time and energy to. When practiced steadily, life itself becomes a mirror of freedom, uncluttered, calm, responsive, and fully awake. The less we are entangled with what does not matter, including the subtle pressures of family, peers, and society, the lighter and more expansive we feel. Awareness here is the true wealth of the heart and the mind. Owning yourself. The question lingers, who truly owns you? Your mind moves, your heart stirs, your actions unfold. And yet, for much of life, these currents have been guided by forces outside your awareness. Family conditioning, cultural norms, social expectations, and collective rhythms shape patterns of thought, rhythms of emotion, and automatic reactions that have been rehearsed long before they are ever questioned. Freedom begins in noticing. Each thought observed, each emotion witnessed, each reaction paused. These are the threads by which you reclaim authorship of your own life. Awareness does not suppress, nor does it force. It illuminates. It reveals the choreography of mind, the sway of heart, the impulses of behavior, and the influences, both internal and external, that set them in motion, showing you where the line of choice truly begins. When you observe without judgment, when you act with presence, when you direct attention to what matters, then your mind, your heart, your life are no longer instruments of another. They no longer answer automatically to habit, expectation, or approval. They are yours. Every breath becomes deliberate, every step conscious, every interaction alive with attention. Ownership is not a declaration. It is a lived experience, quiet yet profound. In the calm space between stimulus and response, in the gentle pause where attention meets action, sovereignty quietly emerges. Here, the unseen currents no longer control you. Here, the stirrings of mind and heart do not dictate your life. They are felt, acknowledged, and released. To own yourself is not to master the world, nor to silence desire or fear. It is to meet each moment fully, with clarity, with presence, with choice. It is to inhabit life so deeply that every thought, every feeling, every action flows from your awareness. In that presence, you are free. In that presence, you belong to yourself. If this wisdom resonates with you, please like this video and subscribe to join us on the path of conscious living.